Paltrocast.
Good morning, good day, aside from, talking about yourself and the tour and all that a ton.
Yeah, but I've been working on this thing for years, so it's kind of fun to switch gears, and now I'm not obsessing over every detail of every 16th note. Now I get to talk about playing it live and the record coming out. So it's at the moment, it's a welcome change of pace.
Sure. Well, the recorded version has just so many interesting special guests on it. Did you have any of those people in mind for when you were recording it, or is it just happenstance and luck and reach
Uh, it's
outs?
a it's a little bit of all of the above. I mean, I definitely started off my rock projects with my first record that came out in 2024, the Singularity, and now this one with a wish list as I moved into rock. But also, I was very lucky because I started off knowing a few of these folks socially. I became friends with Serge Tankian from System of a Down and Scott Ian from Anthrax, and just knew these guys well enough that I could write some sketches and send it to them and say, I don't know, is this any good? What do you think? Because I thought they will be honest with me if this sucks, right? So their encouragement, it's the fact that I had encouragement from people like that right out of the gate is part of the reason I did it. Um, on the new record, there were a couple of people that I had wanted to work with on the first record, and the schedules didn't work out. Who
Mhm.
ended up working on the second one? Claudio Sanchez from Coheed and
Coheed.
Cambria,
Yeah.
and Steve Vai.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go work with those folks. Um, Joe Duplantier from Gojira was extremely high on the list, and I mean, I got to say, like that one, uh, that was one where I just used every connection at my disposal. I was like, am I now famous enough at film and TV that I can just say to my manager, like, hey, Gojira's playing with Korn and Evanescence in LA. Get me backstage. Can I actually do this? And the answer was
And
yes.
the answer
So
is yes. Yeah.
so I just started talking to Joe, and we swapped cell phones, and the next day I texted him and I go, hey man, it's great meeting you. Crazy idea. Why don't we write a heavy metal song with a Bulgarian women's choir? Does that sound fun to you? And he was like, yes, I'm in. So, it ranges from people that I've known for years to meeting somebody and then pitching them some crazy idea. And there you go.
It's great to hear, and please take this as a compliment here, that we can't pigeonhole you to a sound or a genre at this point in time. Same with your collaborators.
Absolutely. I take that as a huge compliment. And I think it's a result of my career in film and TV, but also my brain. Why did I go to film and TV? Because I love doing this. Oh, I love doing that. I love doing this. I love doing that. And the
Sure.
the way that in film and TV and video games you adapt to whatever's needed was very inspiring to me. Um, and I think that ultimately I brought that to my rock records just because of the
Sure.
nature of who I am. So I take it as a huge compliment. Thank you.
And the last time I had the pleasure of speaking with you, I had you pegged all wrong. I thought that you were a metal guy all along, and I learned you were not a metal guy. You're an evolved person who got into harder stuff. But there's a lot of great hard rock guests on this. So clearly, hard rock and metal is being very good to you. When the people see you live, is it pretty much the new record and the prior record, or what does the set list look like?
The set list is a combination of essentially everything I've done in my career. You're going to hear some new tracks from the Singularity Ekleipsis for sure.
Hmm.
A couple of songs from the Singularity 2024 are in there, and I'd say like a good chunk of the set is from my scoring career because
So God of
so
War, Ragnarok, and that kind of stuff.
God of War, Walking Dead, Battlestar Galactica. These are things that um, can involve a full orchestra, but also boil down to a fundamental idea that can be played by a band. And I play hurdy-gurdy, and we have a violinist,
Yeah.
and there's vocals, so it actually translates shockingly well. So I really enjoy being able to pivot between songs from my rock record, and then like here's a theme that I wrote for a TV show. Here's something from a video game. It's a very eclectic. It's a really eclectic night, and the only thing all those things have in common is they come from my brain and they're loud and epic.
Sure. I'm projecting on you right here. This rock symphony related project I once consulted for. It was pretty much the conductor, the bassist, drummer, guitarist, violinist traveled with the show. The production person traveled with the show, and then everyone else was local city to city. Is that the case for you, or are you like the Brian Setzer Orchestra, where it's cripplingly complex, where 40 on
It
stage people are traveling
it's
every show?
it's definitely the Brian Setzer model, because I find that ultimately the like having a symphony on stage with a band, I find it kind of messy. I've rarely experienced it live in a way that like even made sense to me as a fan. So what I'm doing is I'm, like I said, I'm boiling down. I'm like finding the diamond in the coal concentrated in there. This melody from God of War. And it's us in the band singing and a distorted electric violin playing it instead of 24 French horns. The thing is, I find that if you're hearing that melody and you
Yes.
see, and I'm there playing it on hurdy-gurdy or on guitar, like we're getting to have this communal experience with it. I don't want to say it doesn't matter the orchestra's not there, but it is a to me it's a heightened experience. It's like more intimate. You're just literally more closer to the music. Now, with that said, I do have a performance with the Seattle Symphony next summer, summer
Mhm.
27, and definitely looking at that as a way to explore doing what you're describing. But it would probably be less of a rock thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
my creative life is so varied. For me, what do I want to do as an artist is like I want to either like go out with a band and it's the six or seven of us and it's intimate and it's raw and it's up close and personal, or get in front of 80 musicians and really give you that epic orchestral symphonic experience where I'm conducting. It's kind of hard for me as an artist to do both in the same night because you end up compromising both of them, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
In your established, educated opinion.
This is not for everybody else, just for me. Other people are good at this. For me, I find that the sweetness and beauty of an orchestra gets destroyed by a drum kit, and the power of a drum kit and guitars gets diluted if you're trying to make room for like trumpets and stuff. It's just it's a thing that works well in recording, but
Yeah.
when I put on a show, if you come to my show, I want you to have an experience where like it's just being injected straight into your brain, raw emotion,
Yeah.
and I find that those there's two really good ways to do it.
Is your guitar tech the same person as the hurdy-gurdy tech?
I love that you asked that. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because I can't bring out a hurdy-gurdy tech. It's just there's literally not room on the bus. So you can imagine the Craigslisting, right?
Yeah.
Looking for an expert guitarist, familiar with drop tunings and baritone guitars, and can program a quad cortex, and can tune a hurdy-gurdy, swap out the cotton, change the strings. I don't get many responses to that. So my solution was to work with incredible guitar techs and teach them the hurdy-gurdy. The first guy I went out with was this guy Jai, who techs for Animals as Leaders and Gojira. Great dude, knows what he's doing. He just took one look at this thing and was like, "Okay, let's do it." And damn, if he didn't learn it on the first night.
I look at that job as being like Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick's guitar tech, where you have the five neck guitar. Every song's
Yes,
going to have a different guitar and all that. So
yes.
to have the hurdy-gurdy, but also have to have acoustics in mind and the guitars and all that. Are you changing guitar or instrument pretty much song to song?
Frequently, I'm
So,
definitely
so you're putting him through the Rick Nielsen measures.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. And he was our only tech. So there's another guitarist and a bassist, and my brother plays acoustic guitar. So he's teching all of it and doing the hurdy-gurdy. But it's been great. I found he was awesome. Worked with a few other guys on the road. Just started working with a new guy for my tour this summer, and I've just found that most guitar techs, I think, to be a successful tech, you're already wired in such a way that you're like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, let's do that. Like they don't panic. They can't panic. Do you know what I mean? So when they find out, they just go, yeah, I'll learn the hurdy-gurdy, sure. And truly, if you can tune a 12-string acoustic guitar and make it sing, like you can figure this out. It is an acoustic instrument fundamentally. It's the same principle, just incredibly finicky.
I have one more hurdy-gurdy question for you, and
Let's do
that's
it.
obviously guitar players get endorsements and they have signature models and so forth, and then signature accessories to the signature models. Are there any endorsements in the hurdy-gurdy world?
I would love that. Honestly, the community is so small that what's so funny when it comes to guitars that I'll ask my buddy Tim Henson for like, oh, can you hook me up with Ibanez? Sure. And like 5 minutes later, Ibanez is like, oh, you're Tim's friend. What do you need? It's great. With Hurdy Gurdy, I found manufacturers that I wanted, but the thing is, they're all individuals that are making instruments for Ren fairs and universities, and like they're so specialty that I couldn't believe it. But like, I can't play the Fame card. I can't play it. I would reach out to somebody and they'd be like, "Yeah, okay, okay, yeah, the wait list is 2 years." I go, "Oh yeah, I know, I know," but like, eh? And they're like, yeah, no, the
Two
wait
years,
list is 2 years. I'm like, but like the theme song to Black Sails
yeah.
is arguably the most famous hurdy-gurdy recording ever. And they're still like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's cool. But like I can't only make the ones I can't make, so it's 2 years. You know what I mean? Like the one I took on tour, one guy was like, well, I did have this one laying around, and the guy didn't need it. So you could have this, and I go, I'll take it. I'll take it. I need an electric hurdy-gurdy for the road. But you know what I mean? It is funny because uh, the guitar infrastructure is set up where it's like, oh, if you are someone that we would want to play our guitars, we can get you a guitar in a week.
Yeah.
Hurdy-gurdy's totally different. So one day I might find somebody that's like, oh, you're like the hurdy-gurdy guy. Yes, what do you want? You want a custom red one with racing stripes and like LEDs? And I'd be like, yes, let's do all that stuff. But right now the wait list is 2 years, Darren. It's 2 years.
That's the next tour. That's the next tour. So
Exactly.
yes, down to my last two questions here. Usually, when I'm interviewing people and I say, hey, so what's coming up? What's next? They're not usually scoring 3 to 6 TV shows and 1 to 3 video games at the same time and doing a tour and also do guest appearances and also projects that we don't really hear so much about, like Dragon's Blood and all that at Carnegie Hall, etc. So, what are we allowed to know about?
Well, uh, there's a few things that I can't. It's a little early to talk about. However,
Sure.
I'm touring, as you mentioned, the West Coast in September. My new record drops on July 31st, the Singularity Ekleipsis. So in rock world, I'm doing that. In the next, I guess, less than a year, you'll hear new music that I wrote for the Lord of the Rings. The season 3 premiere of Rings of Power is in November.
Yeah.
Foundation season 4 is coming back. Percy Jackson and the Olympians season 3 is coming back. Outlander Blood of My Blood is coming back. Um, in video game world, I just had a project announced that I've been working on for years. God of War Lao Fei. Doesn't have a release date yet, but we just put out a trailer. I'm very excited about that and getting to return to the God of War universe. My first stage musical, Particle Fever, has its world premiere in the spring at the La Jolla Playhouse in San Diego.
Mm.
Uh, so I'm very excited about that. I have a few features on the horizon that I can't talk about yet, but it's I've been a busy little bee. It's true. Um, but I'm excited about all this stuff, and I'm so lucky
Right.
that I get to do all this crazy stuff.
I don't call you lucky. I call you talent plus opportunity plus work ethic rather than lucky.
I interpret my definition of the word as lucky to be exactly what you just said, and I say lucky as a shorthand, but I appreciate you actually exploding out what that really means.
I stole
Um,
that to rudely interrupt you. I stole that from Arsenio Hall.
there you go. No, it's totally true. I will say I am lucky in that I am wired in such a way that working that hard at something is fun for me. So
Yeah.
it's literally not work. It's fun for me to learn how to play guitar or learn how to write music or learn how to write a musical. So if it was work, if it was like digging a ditch, I would be exhausted. So I am lucky in that it's like, oh, that's fun. I just do this stuff. And as a result, I put in the 10,000 hours over and over and over. And as a result of that, some opportunities come up and I'm prepared for those opportunities. That is true.
Well, the last question before I let you go, also modifying towards you because there's so many damn projects on so many different levels. What is the main thing that you do to decompress these days when you get the chance to, besides sleeping and eating? Is it reading? Is it podcasts? Is it walking, cycling?
I have found over the last few years, I've started working out regularly. I work out 5 days a week, and the only way that I can do it is if I hire a trainer to come and he works with me for 90 minutes. Um, and that does it literally decompresses me, like it relaxes my muscles and it helps me not think about work, although I end up thinking about work. But
Right.
your brain, when you're straining your muscles, your brain starts doing all kinds of things. And I'm like, oh, I should do a rock song with Joe Duplantier. And I'm like, oh, wait, what rep am I at? So look, there's that. Otherwise, man, I don't. It's very hard. I try to spend time with my family. I try to spend time with my kids, but that's not relaxing, dude. That's crazy. That's harder than work. You're running around, you're keeping up with them. So they keep you young, but like time for me to decompress where I'm like, I'm gonna take me time and just like I would say the workouts only work because even if I'm like, I want to keep working, I know I'm going to keep working. Oh, right. My trainer's knocking at the door. Like it literally has to happen. Otherwise, I don't think I'd do it. So that's my life hack is like, I am paying someone to come over 5 times a week in order to make me stop working and do something that's good for me.
So it's not the Rocky Four soundtrack on loop.
No, honestly, man, it's my metal playlist. It's all the people that I'm working with and people that I want to work with. Sometimes the algorithm will feed me somebody. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Who's that? And then I'm like, oh, the next week I'm like, I'm getting lunch with the guitarist from some band that popped up when I was working out. So it's a write-off, dude. It's totally a write-off, right? Like I'm thinking about work. When I'm working out, but whatever. It's the best I can do. I'm being honest with you. That's all I can swing.
Fantastic. Bear, thank you for the decades of great art. Looking forward to seeing the live show. Looking forward to the new music and just keep being Bear.
Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it, man. Cheers.
Outro.